Eric, since there's only two of us, should we level up to three? I'm gonna level up to three real quick.
No, that's okay.
I'm gonna
I'm
level
gonna level up to
down to
three. It's
1.
gonna be fine.
No. I mean, yeah,
I'm gonna roll up. I'm gonna roll up Linky Loo part two, Electric Boogaloo, The Shining Mist, Dr. Faustus.
that's a good character.
Why do you have both of your accounts in here?
Because
Why
one
do
of
you
them.
also have multiple accounts in our fucking Discord?
Yeah, it's.
He was talking to you, I think.
If you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of Silent Ryan.
Fucking great. Okay. Starting off, who are your characters?
Oh shit, I forgot to come up with a voice and personality. I'm gonna do this on the fly. Alright, here we go.
You're first, Brian.
Now I'm thinking.
All right. Yo, 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 I'm Brad to the Chuffton. Bring me some wenches. I'll give them a stuffing. I'm a bard. Level 2.
This game is gonna be so good. All right, I think I need to contrast you a little bit. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna turn down my volume, and I'm gonna say, I'm Soapy Lungwater. I am a druid, and I have ventured in here because I'm looking for a change in my life, and I thought this guild would be a good place to start.
Okay. There we go. Okay. So, this adventure takes place in the city of Magnes, in the kingdom of Valencia. Magnes is the second largest city in the kingdom, and it has wide, sprawling streets with open-air bazaars kind of lining it as you walk through. There, the upper class sections and the slums sort of mix together at weird intervals, where you'll see almost shanty shacks just built up 4 or 5 stories, and then leaning onto nicer built solid masonry work, older mansions from a previous era. The reason that Magnes has grown so large primarily is its Adventurers Guild. And while every town or major city in the kingdom has an outpost of the guild, in order to get started, and a majority of the work goes through Magnes. In fact, the city of Magnes was originally named after its founder, or the founder of the guild, I should say, one Mr. Clarence Charmaine. However, redneck bumpkins don't know how to pronounce names, so they called it Magnes, and several hundred years later, here we are.
Here we are.
The two of you have been traveling together for not necessarily too long. Well, I guess if you guys want to know each other for longer than this, that's fine. But you for sure have been traveling together at least long enough to know each other. And you have heard that it's easier to gain entrance into the guild if you have multiple people with you, forming a sort of party of your own, since it's much easier to take jobs on in large groups. After coming to the guild offices and filling out the required paperwork, the office worker, who I believe I named Brian,
Brian
yes,
Wraith.
Brian. He tells you that he'll get to filing it as soon as he can, and says that probably best to head into the main hall while you wait. And
Yo. Dope.
walking into the main hall, which is the sort of majority of the building, the entire area is set up very similar to most large bars that you've seen, with tables kind of lining the outside walls, and a bar taking up a large portion of the inside, with what appears to be a closed-off kitchen area. There is several halflings running around ferrying drinks and food to people. And one sort of homely-looking woman in her mid to late 30s working the bar. A hefty majority of the seats are taken up, except for there's a handful of spots at the bar still open, and there's one table that only has one man sitting on it, and he has a slew of instruments around him, and several like satchels or backpacks sitting on the chairs, and he has a hooded pulled up over his face.
Look over there, Brad. It's a fellow musician.
Ah, shit, Holmes. Let's go peep what the fuck he's up to.
It's as good a place to start as any. If he plays here often, he'll know his way around.
Righteous.
As you walk over to him, he kind of slouches down a little further in his chair and pulls his hood over his face a little bit more, and takes a long draft of his flagon.
Greetings, good sir. I am Soapy Lungwater, and this is my my partner. Not that kind of a partner. We're just friends. The point is, this is Bradley Chuffton. We're here to sign up for the Adventurers Guild. You know, Bradley is also a performer, just like yourself. Do you play here often?
He tilts his head back a little bit to look you up and down and says, "No, I don't play much."
Oh. Well, we're going to have a look around. Bye! I'm going to walk away.
Okay. Are you going to the bar, or?
What do I see around me? Is this just a tavern-y place?
Pretty much. Seems to be almost all like oaken furniture, and while sturdy, it doesn't look expensive. Roll me a perception check.
25.
All right, so yeah, one really weird thing that you notice is that the stools are about like 1.5 feet apart from each other at the bar, and the woman behind the bar, while serving people drinks, also will occasionally motion as if she's serving a drink without actually like grabbing a glass or seeming to pour any liquid into it, and then she sets it down at the space in between the bar stools.
I'm sorry, she set what down?
Apparently nothing. It looks like she's like she's miming holding a glass and setting it on the bar, but like in the spaces in between the bar stools. Other than that, it's a fairly lively bar. There seems to be at each table there's a group of adventurers, and lining the bar there's several kind of grizzled, more almost retired looking men. But other than that, it seems like a fairly standard tavern almost.
I'm going to kind of walk up to between one of the bar stools and point at nothingness and be like, "Pardon me, what is this?"
Well, that's a bar, sugar. Not a big drinker, I assume?
Let's find out. I would like one of your best wines. Perhaps one
sure
of your
thing.
Perhaps one of your most medium. I'm not a huge spender today.
Yeah, all right. You want a glass or a whole bottle?
I'll take the bottle, please. I could take it on my adventures. I'm joining the guild, you know.
Well, I assume so, since you're in the guild hall. But it's always good to meet new adventurers. I'm Chandra. You'll see me here most mornings.
I'll remember your name if I come back and realize that it's important because I'm going to see you often. How about that wine?
Of course. And she pulls out a standard like bottle of wine. It's a red, and it's a metal wine glass. It's not tin, but it looks fairly cheap. Something that can get knocked around and dropped.
So I think Brad is going to walk up to the bar and he's going to go, "What's up, baby girl?"
Another new person. I assume you are also joining with Mr. Winery over there?
Shit, I'm over here just trying to do whatever it is that brings me closer to you.
Well,
What kind of liquor you got back there, huh?
Well, I got some whiskey, some dwarvish whiskey. Otherwise, I have some old elven gin, and actually, one of the gnomes that just came in gave us a full cask of brandy wine. Not a liquor, but a little bit unusual for you. You seem the unusual type.
You got some juice back there?
Yeah, I could find some for you.
Yo, Holmes, put some of that motherfucking gin and some of that motherfucking juice.
Sure thing. And as she takes away, you hear her go, "Takes all kinds of me adventures, I guess."
Soapy's gonna open up his bottle and start pouring it into his hands and rubbing it on his face. Well, where do you think we should start, Bradley?
Bradley is like writing down in a notepad and he's like, "Mom's spaghetti, no ready, never spaghetti." And he'll look up and he'll say, "Huh? What?"
Just curious where we should start in this place. That musician over there was of no use to us at all.
I mean, like, we didn't get any, like, numbers or some shit?
Well... What? Numbers?
Bro! Go back up to the front desk and shit. I'm gonna drink my gin and juice.
As she comes back with a shot of... it's a double shot of gin and, like, a full tankard of juice. for you. You hear the bells of the city start chiming midday. And you also notice that especially the older, more seasoned looking crowd gets up and leaves immediately.
At this point, my shirt is unbuttoned and I'm rubbing the wine on my chest, and I say, where is everybody going? Bradley, we might need to get in on this, whatever this is.
Yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Huh?
That's some bullshit ass shit. What the fuck?
Oh,
Are you yelling?
the wine?
He's yelling at fucking, what's your character's name?
Soapy?
Soapy.
Soapy, yeah.
Pardon me, ma'am. Where's everyone going?
Oh, they probably just don't want to talk to old man Jenkins. He can be a bit of a handful sometimes.
He usually comes in at the chime of the clock?
It's about the time when he finishes up all his selling by. Yeah.
He sounds like a man who has been around a while. I would like to speak with him.
At that moment, the door swings open, and as you turn to look, you notice that a majority of the people that were in the guild hall are gone now, and this old man with wiry hair sticking out behind his straw hat, wearing just kind of suspenders, or I'm sorry, overalls and boots, farmer's boots, comes in and goes, "Oh, please, someone, you have to help me."
Yo, what you need, bruh?
"Oh, new adventures, I take it. Yes, there's been monsters attacking my farmstead. I'd be ever so grateful if you could drive them off for me, please. No one in town will listen to me."
This may be our way in, Bradley.
What kind of motherfuckers we talking about here?
Horrible monsters. They're small little creatures, but with great bulbous heads that shine in the sun, and horrible, hideous green skin and pointed teeth. And then there's the red one. Chills just thinking about it.
It's nothing to be afraid of. All creatures are God's creatures. Where shall we go to find them?
You can... Well, if you want, I can give you a ride on my wagon.
Well, first...
What's your name, bruh? What's your name, bruv?
Oh, it's, Jenkins, Thomasette Jenkins.
Dope. You can call me Brad Chuffton, the fourth.
Mr. Jenkins.
That's Soapy. He's a douche. But like a literal one. Like, that's not meant to be like an insult or anything. Like, he actually goes into orifices and cleans them. Like, that's his job.
At this point,
a pleasure to meet you, Master Soap Douche and the fourth.
My sleeves are rolled up to the elbows, and I'm just pouring this stuff on my arms. Now, listen. Here's one of my concerns. Do you have influence within this here guild?
The guild? No, I suppose not. I do have some connections to the castle, though.
The castle? What good is that to us?
I don't know. It could come in handy to you. And I am willing to pay as well.
Well, I suppose that's something. We were specifically looking to get into this guild. I thought this would be a good way in. What do you think, Bradley?
Bruh, we gotta help this motherfucker. If he's in trouble, we gotta fucking do some shit and shit, you know?
Bleeding hearts.
Well,
All right. Well, we'll ride with you, I suppose. You think the two of us can handle this? I mean, we're good, but how many creatures are we talking about here?
Bruh, you just gotta turn into one of those motherfuckers and fucking chew on their necks and shit. It'll be cool.
Yeah, it varies on the day, but anywhere between 2 and 4 of them normally, but they all look different.
Listen.
And also the red one.
I am a very good douche. And when I douche, I do such a good job that,
Boo!
But if it's extra dirty, it takes me extra time. And sometimes even I can get a bit overwhelmed. So as good as I am turning into animals and biting the necks of others, I just need to know what I'm getting into.
Well, I've told you all I know.
Oh, right.
It's the monsters. They've been ruining my crops.
I'm not giving any promises. We'll ride to your place and take a look. We'll give you an estimate. That's the best we can offer at the time.
I suppose that's more than anyone else. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, bro, let's go.
The table in the corner, in like the far corner, where there's like a young adventuring group, kind of been arguing amongst themselves this whole time, and finally one of them stands up, and he's tall. He looks like an elf, or a half elf, and he walks over to you and says, it's nice to see people who are willing to help others instead of getting in this profit.
Are you the one the DM sent to us so that we don't die?
Indeed.
Excellent.
I am Godsend.
What is your name, sir?
Godsend.
Oh, excellent.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I will write that in my notes.
Yo, I'm fucking Brad. You must got that God flow.
I don't know what that means, and I will not respond to it. But it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Brad.
Are you coming to...
Well, we're gonna go slay some motherfuckers in a red shitter. Fuck.
Yes, I was able to hear he's not the subtlest man, it seems.
Yeah, we're gonna go and fucking deal with that shit.
That was a private conversation.
Well,
calm down, Soap Douche. It's fucking cool.
I don't even know how he heard us without specifically dropping his eaves.
Soap Douche. Soap Douche, it's not fucking, hey, bro. Hey, it's all about fucking love. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the rap game is all about.
I'm sorry, I'm just a very private person. I'm not used to being surrounded by people in a tavern listening in.
Godsend turns to Bradley.
This motherfucker is constantly fucking just rubbing fucking alcohol on himself. Like, this motherfucker is weird as shit. And so, like, I am so glad that there might be finally a normal motherfucker and shit here, you know?
When I start selling my anti-aging remedies, you will thank me, Bradley.
And he'll, like, look over at Godsend and sort of, like, do the cuckoo sign on the one side of his head where he rotates his finger.
Yeah, he kind of does a slow nod at you. He says, well, shall we be off then?
Yes, let's.
Excellent. And as you're leaving, You see the hooded man kind of nodding his head towards you guys.
The hooded man.
The guy you talked to right at the beginning, Brian.
The musician?
Yes.
I didn't remember that he wore a hood. You should have said the musician.
Bro, that was like the first thing that he said.
Well, that's not what stuck with me.
Fucking ass clown.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
Oh yeah, you've never DM'd
Dude,
a game
you
for me
thought
before,
that
have you?
I was gonna be the hard, and you thought that I was gonna be the hard one. Fucking yeah.
I forgot
Welcome
that
to Playing
Eric.
with Brian.
I forgot that Eric was a DMing Brian virgin.
Please don't put it that way.
All right, let's go get in the carriage.
Cherry for DMing Brian.
Plus,
It
you
hurts
guys.
a little at first.
Popping the
and then
cherry.
You hate it even more.
Popping the cherry with a douche. Soapy's,
More like with a little prick.
Soapy's gonna go get in the carriage. Or whatever he is. Hay wagon or whatever it is.
Before
Brad.
that, as you walk outside that guild hall, make me wisdom saving throws.
Brad is gonna be like singing to himself like, baby girl, don't you leave, baby girl.
9.
Okay.
10.
You bastard. You're always one-upping me.
Okay. As you walk out the tavern doors, the streets are predictably busy at, around midday time. And one thing that you notice is that there's a man in fine navy robes with a purple and gold insignia stitched on one breast. And he's kind of walking through the crowd, and they're just like parting as he's walking past them.
Whoa,
And he seems
look
to
at
be
the tits
walking
on
up to
that
the.
one.
He's walking up towards the castle, which is right up the main thoroughfare. But then
Well,
you
we
hear
gotta
from the
go.
opposite direction. Thomas said is going over this way. Come on now, come boys, let's go.
For sure, bro. We're gonna go, punch you a red guy in the dick or some shit.
He has it's basically like a hay cart parked.
Soapy, what do you think of the name of MC Dick Puncher?
It's a little on the dick.
Yes,
Your
perhaps go
jokes are
heavier
really
on the dick.
Awful, bro. But yeah, it's probably not a good one. Yeah, all right. I'll keep thinking.
So you guys pile into Old Man Jenkins' hay cart, and it's just being pulled by like a single donkey who looks about as old as he is. But you are on your merry way to his homestead, and you are leaving out the south gate. So that looking for my maps.
All right. About how long of a ride do we have ahead of us?
Oh well, old Donnie Bray here is sturdy, but it is late in the day for him, so an hour, maybe 2 at most, I would say.
All right. Well, I think we should find something to discuss. How about yourself? You have been in the guild hall a long time, I have noticed. Your reputation precedes you. However, as does your networking skills.
And like the most important question, what are the fucking chicks like out there?
Well, yes, Well, I haven't been necessarily a part of the guild, but me and my family have been farming outside of Magne for well, just about near when it started, I assume. And the chicks are growing up quite nicely, really taking to the new feed. Though
Bruh, are they
with the
stacked? Are they stacked, bruh? Let me know.
Do they like to roll in the hay?
oh, some of them do, although they're not stacked. They have plenty of room. Yes.
Oh, they're skinny bitches. Gotcha.
Uh, Listen, I'm all out of chick puns. It does do my heart good to get out of the city. It's awfully cramped in there. I am a man of the wilderness, you see. These monsters, if you describe them to me, being that I'm experienced in this area, this type of country stuff, whatever, fuck it.
You don't seem very experienced.
If you describe them to me, I may be able to identify them better. You said pointy teeth.
No, trust me, bro. Soapy knows a lot about nature. He fucks trees, he told me once.
That was supposed to be strictly between you and me, Bradley.
It's okay,
Soapy,
Soapy.
bruh.
There's nothing wrong with getting some nice wood. Have you ever seen the king's wood? Glorious.
No, I have not. I should branch out more.
Perhaps after this you'll be able to leaf on more adventures further east.
I want to come up with a pun that involves photosynthesis. You said they have sharp teeth, shiny heads.
Were you putting the sin in photosynthesis?
Yeah, that's about as good a quality as I would have come up with, so. What, meta talk here. What challenge rating are these creatures, do you think? Would I be able to, I can transform.
Oh, you fucking motherfucker.
I don't know, 5 or 6?
Never mind then. Fucking hell.
What's your race?
My race? Oh,
Mhm.
I don't even remember. I am a... Oh, shit! I should have factored this in. I forgot, I'm an Asimar.
You're an Asimar or are you an Asimar?
Yeah, whichever one is right.
Neither.
I think you're an Asimar.
Well, this is it makes it, okay, I'm gonna have to flesh out my character a little more. Alright, I'm an Asimar,
Alright.
and,
Okay, so you are an Asmore
And he fucks trees.
tree fucker. Got it.
Tree
And
fucker.
Circle of the Moon tree.
you are a human, correct? Brad. You're a
Yeah,
human?
Brad is a human, yep.
Okay. So they're described as short, melon-headed fucks with green skin and sharp teeth. You can roll me a nature check if you wanted.
Okay. 17.
I'm gonna
You're
roll
not-
2.
Okay. I would say you're thinking more of like creatures right now than it could be.
18.
Oh,
Damn it.
18. Yeah.
One upping me every time.
Like a boss.
You're not positive. You would probably guess some kind of goblinoid, but well, it's not like a
Bruh.
certainty.
Bro, it's probably one of them goblinoid pricks.
guess I can roll for Godsend. Well, no.
What kind of shit do you fucking do, Godsend? Like, what can we...
Oh,
What kind of shit can I count on you for?
I'm quite skilled with a bow.
You motherfucker. How the fuck are you a Godsend?
What? No. God's End. My people are Godslayers.
Oh, I
Your people?
don't like that.
Yes, the Fey Elves.
Bruh. We're fucked.
Oh,
I mean,
I assure
don't
you,
worry,
I
farmer
mean you
dude,
no
we're
harm.
cool. We're not talking about you, like it's a motherfucker. Hold on while I dip into fighter.
1-1. As you guys are riding this farm, you notice that it's very flat to the south, and in fact, there's not even like really forests that you can see in this direction. It seems to be mostly like plainland, farmland, and in the distance you are able to see the spiking up of the distant mountain range.
Awfully lovely country you have out here.
Oh yeah, great for farming generally. Whatever the monsters are doing, they're ruining my crops. It's terrible, making them all worthless. And well, I mean, as you can imagine, as a farmer, ruining crops is no good for me. I don't know why people don't believe me.
How long has this been going on?
Since just about since the first plantings this year. And you would know it's late summer right now.
Were these new plantings, in a new location, or have you been rotating crops for years?
Oh, like I said, my family's been farming this land for centuries, and we do a basic crop rotation: potatoes, pumpkins, corn.
Not important. Well.
Okay.
So you're not encroaching on territory. What could have made these strange goblin creatures strike?
Goblins are pricks.
Ah, I think Bradley's onto something here. Being a prick myself, I know a thing or two, and I would do the same if I was these goblins.
You would attack innocent farmers?
If there was good reason to, I'm not completely chaotic.
Well, I guess as long as you're here to help.
Don't worry about him. He's a piece of tissue paper.
Well, fair enough. At least Mr. Bradley seems like an honest fellow.
Oh, bruh. I keep it 100. Feel me? Like,
We're fast forwarding to the farm.
As we're rolling into the farm,
100.
I would like to just keep an eye out for any kind of tracks or trails in the ground that look like footprints of a weird thing.
Perception to notice those? And then survival to track? Yeah, perception.
Oh, just the one? I rolled a nat 20 on perception, so that's going to be 25.
You only see, like, the basic tracks of, like, beasts of burden and carts coming through this way. You even think that you notice Donnybrooks prints going the other way,
Donnie
like
Brooks.
going the mule
My
that's pulling your cart.
oh.
So, like, you think you're able to even pick out his tracks going into town. And it seems like it's everything that you see from this point is just it would be like farmers hauling their crops into Magnet to sell.
You live here alone, or you have family? Farmhands?
Well, my family moved away. Well, moved into the city. Many years ago, I suppose now. I used to have farmhands working here, but they all got spooked by the monsters, and I can't rightly blame them.
You've been running this farm by yourself.
Well, my farmhands only left earlier in the summer, so no good having farmhands when there's no crops to harvest or tend to, really.
Are they taking your crops when they're fucking them up?
No, it's the strangest thing. It's as if they're just making them completely useless to me. The pumpkins seem to be almost
Here's
like
what the fuck
solid
I
bark.
think. I fucking think that if we just murder these guys, it's going to completely fix the problem and make everything go away.
I hope so, yes.
Wouldn't you agree, Douche?
Yes. I think, as a prick, if I were in the position of these goblins and I got murdered, that would solve the issue. I wouldn't be ruining crops anymore.
See? The Douche says it, and, the Douche doesn't lie, usually, except for when he does. But that's beside the fucking point.
Well, even if this year's crops are shot, if they're dead, I can at least start again next year and sort of restart. I have enough savings for that.
Why doesn't anyone at the guild like you?
Oh.
Yeah, Broham. What the fuck? Because you don't got money or some shit?
Oh, no, I have money. It's, one scouting party came out with me, and I think there were new adventurers. I hadn't seen them, and as soon as I paid them, they left and told everyone there was nothing there, and I was delusional.
Are you sure that's what happened, or are you
Quite
just
certain.
You're not just delusional?
I mean, if I was, would I do it?
Would you cut out completely and not tell us anything?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I said, if I was delusional, would I know it and be able to tell you that?
All right.
That's fucking fair. We'll figure it out when we get there. But for right now, just know we at least sort of believe you, old man.
I halfway don't trust you.
I like the Bradley one. At least half as much more than the weird one that soaks wine into himself.
That's why we call him the Douche.
I thought it was because my name was Soapy.
There's lots of reasons. Douche.
And another one every minute that passes.
all right. I ain't got nothing more to say to this guy. Or the guy in the back.
You guys get to the farmstead then, and
Hey, just be careful. Sometimes the Douche, when he turns into animals, he'll poop. Like, in buildings. And so, like, make sure that you're watching him because, like, you'll find a fucking surprise just, like, in the closet. And you won't know it until you smell it. And it's just fucking foul. And the douche is an asshole bastard douche.
If you are going to
prick,
be
I
an
guess he sums it up.
to be an animal, you have to think like an animal.
Bullshit, douche. That's not fucking true.
Bear shit.
Oh, does he turn into a bull then?
Bat shit. Snake shit.
Douche. Keep your poo-poo in your buttocks.
Or at least on the field. That would be fine too. Manure is very good for the crops.
If you would like to experiment while I'm here, I can give you a variety of different manures to test.
No, that's okay.
Very well.
Brad is gonna look over at God and say, Soapy douche is literally the worst.
I got that feeling as well. You guys turn off of the main road up on a very thin, worn path. You're able to see a small farmhouse and a rather large barn with several silos by it. Excuse me. And from what you can see from here, you can't see, like, crop fields. Everything looks super, like, overgrown.
Boy, a loss of farmhands sure has taken its toll on this place.
Oh, that's what the monsters have been doing. It's like the tendrils branch out, but there's no fruit born. It's so strange. Anything that is absolutely wasted as well. Once we get closer to the fields, you'll see what I mean. And he takes you guys up to the barn, and it's a 2-story barn with windows on the north and south side. The main door is on the west end of the barn, which is the houses to the west of the barn as well. And
Can
most
I just
of the
roll an investigation check before we go into this barn?
Sure. What are you trying to find exactly?
I think that Brad is a little suspicious at this point, and he wants to make sure that there isn't anything, like any fuckery going on, like traps or fucking people hiding or any bullshit like that, because this guy seems down on his luck.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, dirty 20.
You don't sense any, like, this barn seems to be like a fairly standard barn. You don't see any people, you don't hear any, like, other tracks from where you're at. And, like, he opens the door to the barn and walks in first and is kind of, like, waving you in, and there's, it's fairly empty inside the barn, but there is several piles of, like, really weird looking crops.
The
But
fuck is
you don't
that
find any like
shit,
traps.
the fuck is that?
I saved some of the crops to show to people to see what was going on. Here, look. And he hands you an ear of corn, except it's almost, it's like there's a thick vine wrapped around it, and then, like, there's no give to the kernels at all. It's almost like it's made entirely out of wood.
Is there any sign of like wood chips or whittling or anything like that around this barn?
No, nothing.
Like, okay, so there's no possibility that this dude just carved all these.
Oh no, like you're able to peel the husk of it away kind of too, and it
What the
looks like
fuck?
corn, it's just like hardened.
He's gonna hand that shit to Douche and go, "This is your shit."
Yes. Can I break some kernels off?
Oh yeah, they break off.
I'm gonna try to just bite on one to see if it will crunch or if it's solid.
Okay. So you're basically trying to bite into some of the kernels.
One of them, just one kernel.
You bite into this, and it's a really hard kernel. But as soon as you like break through it, it's brittle and it's almost like it's rotted inside.
Interesting. I'm gonna stick a few of them in my long hair, and then I'm gonna ask the farmer, "Have you actually eaten one of these? They appear to be a bit rotten inside."
Oh, he flashes you a smile, and you notice that a lot of his teeth are gone. Probably just from age. And he goes, "I can't say I have much of a taste for the stuff anymore. Yeah, prefer more boiled oats or that sort."
Take us out to where you think these goblins are coming from.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go.
well, okay, yes. And he starts to lead you to the field just north of the barn, which kind of seems like it's the last tended to area. Like he's been fighting it, and it's just been like growing more and more, and this is the last area he has any part cleared. And it is fairly sizable, at least. It's about 160 feet by 140 feet. And you see pumpkins growing in it, but these pumpkins look super strange. For one, there's vines all along the ground, and while pumpkins do grow like tendrils, this is thick. This is not like, oh, a few sprawling branches. This is like it's coating the entire area, and he's like just like chopping away at it as he tries to walk forward. Also, the pumpkins, they're 5 to 10 feet in size. But they look the similar kind of like almost barked over style on their skin. And he starts leading you into the field, and he's like, "This is this is the last area left. I mean, I would assume that they would attack this next. They started making their way from the northeast, so this is kind of the last bit of field before the house."
Have you pissed anybody off?
No, not that I know of. I've simply been farming.
Shelter? Have you refused shelter, fucking food, anything to anyone at any point recently?
No, I mean, until this year, I've tried to be fairly generous. Help others as you want to be helped is what my father always said. This year I just haven't had the crops to do so. And it's because this happened. It wasn't... This happened before I ever... You see...
You've hired us. You may as well come out with it.
What? Did I cut out?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Because I was talking for like a minute.
You said UC and then nothing else.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, he was saying that he was taught always help others as you would want to be helped when in need, and it was just he tried to do that until this year where his crops like started dying and he wasn't able to.
Yeah, we got all that.
Okay, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Now, these pumpkins are rather large. Is that normal?
This year, yes. The crops grow large, but completely inedible, as you saw. In fact, and he'll take one of the like 5-foot pumpkins, and he'll kind of like pick up a hoe and like smash it into the pumpkin, and it'll like almost the skin splinters and it like crumbles in on itself.
I want to reach down and take some of the guts out of the pumpkin and then just kind of stuff them down the back of my pants. And then
What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? I don't want to play this game anymore, Brian.
I want to play this game, but with a new character.
When I start selling my ass growth cream, you'll thank me, Bradley.
I won't. I fucking won't.
I don't think anyone will thank you ever.
Please, fucking. Can I have advantage if I attack? If I attack fucking Douche?
100% yes.
Okay, I would like to stab the Douche in his face.
I ain't even mad.
Why is this your character, Brian?
I don't know.
Like,
it's one of those situations where I was just coming up with things on the fly, and then every new thing was horrible, but I had to run with it because suddenly that was canon.
Why was the thing you came up with, hey, what if I put seeds up my ass? What the fuck, Brian?
It got out of control.
We fucking know, you asshole! How did you let it, is the question.
This was 100% you. You're like, I start pouring the wine on my face.
Yeah, dude, like, what the fuck is wrong?
You're at a bar, who's gonna stop you? And you're like, well, I guess this is just me now.
I'm rubbing it out my lips, wine just all over my lips. Gonna put some pumpkin seeds, rotten ass pumpkin seeds, and they're really literally rotten ass pumpkin seeds because I just pulled them out of my rectum. What the fuck, dude?
I was just ending with myself.
No, you weren't. You're the worst. Oh, you need to retcon all of that bullshit and stop now, and we can continue. No, say it. Say that you're retconning it. Say that you're retconning. Don't just do any fucking bullshit ass Foley. I want you to say, I, Brian Bridges, am no longer going to rub any sort of substances except for magical fucking salves that Eric the DM gives me explicitly on my person.
All right, I'll retcon it.
Thank God.
Unless we're doing a dope ass predator thing and we need to hide from somebody with heat vision. And then you are allowed to rub mud and only mud on your body.
But I was gonna make bank off of my discoveries, you guys.
You weren't discovering it.
You're gonna regret
Roll me
this.
perception
Stab him
checks.
in the throat. Can I please stab him in the throat?
What was your attack roll?
Oh, I haven't. I'm just being an idiot.
Oh, okay.
18,
I just heard a die roll. Okay.
18 perception.
Okay.
Brad is helping. He got a 15.
Both of you start to hear some rustling from about 70 feet off, behind one of the large 10-foot pumpkins. And almost immediately, like, this isn't necessarily quiet rustling, but the old man Jenkins goes, "That's gotta be them! The monsters!"
Alright, don't
Alright, you hide behind a pumpkin or some shit, and we'll go and investigate it.
He swan dives behind the nearest 5-foot pumpkin.
That was dope, bro.
He like feebly lifts a thumbs up from behind it and then like quickly retreats it back. And Godsend says, "So, you think they're goblins?"
Bruh, I'm thinking that you stay right here and fucking cover us with your bow, and we'll try and draw them out from behind there, and we'll move out to the right in sort of a sweeping arc.
That sounds like a good plan. And he finds the closest 5-foot pumpkin, and he's kind of like crouched, like back to the pumpkin, like, "Just give me the signal."
Brad is gonna pull out his rapier and motion for Douche to follow him as we kind of move. And we're gonna stay in the open because we're gonna try and create shooting lanes for God.
Okay.
I should probably go first because I think I could make a good meat shield.
Alright, bro. Just make sure that you don't get in you God's way.
They're behind a 10-foot pumpkin?
Yes. It's like a 10-foot diameter sphere, basically. But the bottom is like flat, so you can't like see them behind it. Are you rolling stealth?
No, we're trying to be obvious because we're trying to draw them out.
Are you trying to roll anti-stealth then?
Yes, I want to roll performance.
That'll work.
Anti-stealth.
I'll roll their perception, and if they get 5 or above, they will notice you. Oh, that'll do it. As you're like walking forward, they you kind of hear the rustling stop, and then some really quick like chitter chatter almost like you don't
stupid. Come on. I speak Orcish, but I don't speak Goblin.
Okay. Whipping boy, you don't speak.
Nope.
Okay. Just common and asshole, apparently.
Celestial and Druidic.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you guys can't understand what they're saying. But it sounds like really... It's like they're arguing, but really quietly. Or they're trying to be quiet, but it's, you know, coming off pretty loud. And then a goblin head peers around from the pumpkin on the west side of the pumpkin. At this point, he's about 45 feet away to the north.
I want to run my full movement, like sort of a diagonal, still sort of trying to stay so that he would definitely have to come completely out in the open in order to get at me. And I would like to ready an action.
Sure. What's the parameters for it?
The parameters are as soon as a goblin is fully exposed, I would like to give the signal for you God to start hail and arrows.
Sure thing. And Soapy, is there anything you would like to do?
Yeah. Can I tell if they're huddled behind this pumpkin in a cluster?
All you can tell is that there is, for certain, one goblin and probably other creatures. But you don't know if they're like all together or what. You just can't see them from here.
I think I would like to... How far away?
They are currently 45 feet away from you.
I think I want to use a dash action to get around the corner of this pumpkin to where I could see who's behind it.
Okay, are you going around the east side of the pumpkin or the west side where you can already see one of the goblins? And the west side is also where Bradley is.
Oh, I thought I was in front of Bradley.
Motherfucker.
You guys were like side by side, but then he used his movement just now.
Okay.
Brad's gonna look at you and be like, stick to the fucking plan, asshole.
I don't remember what the plan was.
Just get the fuck over here and transform and get ready to take on goblin hits while fucking you God mows them down.
I'll choose Bradley's side then.
Okay. So are you dashing like straight past the pumpkin then?
You motherfucker.
I want to be able to see behind the pumpkin. That's what's important to me. And I don't want to be in melee range of them.
Okay. You're able to do that fairly easily. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Nat 20.
Okay, yeah. You run through this field super easily. And you're able to skirt about 10 feet around the pumpkin, and you're now about 15 feet, or you're about 10 feet behind the pumpkin and 10 feet to the west of it.
Okay.
You see two goblins and a small lizard-like figure holding a staff. And it seems like the lizard and the goblin are arguing.
Is the lizard red?
Oh yeah, it's a red. And at that point, roll me initiative.
Like a man, rolling me, like a roll initiative. I got a 6.
And one more. It's gonna be okay. So, I need to roll one for Godsend. Not bad. So the first thing you notice is the lizard man starts running away, and he gets probably 20 feet and disappears behind one of the smaller pumpkins. And from here, Soapy, you can see that the goblin that he was arguing with is holding like a watering can. And like he's like half pouring it out, but he starts like screaming in goblin at the kobold running away. And then the goblin with his head poking out screams something back. You would guess that they're speaking goblin, since you can now see them and confirm that. But he throws a dagger at Soapy.
Okay.
And I'm guessing a 7 doesn't hit your armor class.
Nope.
Excellent. So yeah, this dagger just flies wide, and it actually kind of hits into a pumpkin, which starts like crumbling around the dagger point, as if it's like, as if it hit the keystone of it. And he pulls out a second dagger from his, like his belt, and the goblin with the watering can pulls out a hatchet. And that brings us to... okay, he's going to hold his action for the signal. And Soapy, it's your turn.
All right. What is their kind of formation and range from me?
They're about 10 to 15 feet from you, and they're in adjacent squares. The one closer to you has the dagger drawn. The one slightly farther from you has the watering can with the hatchet drawn.
I'm going to cast Thunder Wave. Each creature in a 15-foot cube from me makes a con save.
Okay. The one with the dagger fails. The one with the hatchet succeeds.
One with the hatchet takes 9 cut in half. He succeeded, right?
Yes.
Takes 9 cut in half damage, and he gets pushed 10 feet away. Let me check that. He's not pushed. He's not pushed. He just takes 3 damage? No, 4 damage. 4 damage.
4 damage.
The second guy, 4, 5, 6. He takes 6 damage, and he's pushed 10 feet backwards.
So the goblin with the dagger, he gets like thrown backwards into the giant pumpkin that they were hiding behind. And he kind of like falls prone. Like he gets slammed like back first against the pumpkin and then like falls face first into the ground.
I don't know if this is going to matter to our story, but there's a thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet.
Okay, good to know.
And then I might do a bonus action here real quick.
Ooh, okay.
And by real quick, he means very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'm just surprised that Brian is using, like, more than one thing per turn.
I want to...
Firebolt, and nothing else ever.
I'm going to wild shape into a giant goat.
Okay. Goat boy. That brings us to... Bradley.
Okay, so what I would like to do is, first of all, ask if you would allow me to use the signal as a free action.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay, so what I'm going to do for my turn then is I'm not going to give the signal. For my bonus action, I'm going to go I'm gonna look over at Douche and say, "You're the dopest fucking goat that I have ever fucking seen. So go and get those guys and maybe hit them in their peens." And you now have a D6 of inspiration. And then I'm going to hold my action for when a goblin is like actually on me. And then I'm going to, both attack and give the signal.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell me that's not good turn usage.
It could have taken a few more minutes, actually.
Oh, what do you mean? I was thinking about what I was doing before it was my turn so that I wasn't just that douchebag that took up a shitload of time for no apparent reason.
I didn't take that much time.
No. Okay, so the goblin with the hand axe and the watering can, he finishes pouring out what's remaining of it. Gopi, make me a perception check.
Perception, I think, stays the same, right? Oh, he says perception right here. Ooh, passive perception, 11. Passive, does that mean I don't roll for it? Does that just mean it's always on?
No, you add your perception score. Passive is just when you're not actively looking for something.
Where did it go? Dirty 20.
Okay. You're noticing that with your newfound goat senses, first of all, they're definitely not pouring water out of this watering can because it's like a crimson color coming out of this can. And then like you start sniffing the air and you get that really metallic scent of blood.
Yikes.
Yep. That goblin is then going to, after he finishes pouring out this watering can, he just kind of like tips it over and stops like sprinkling it and just dumps it. And then he throws the watering can at the goat. And 16 hit your AC?
AC. It does. I don't get any sort of dex save on that since I saw it coming.
No, this is a ranged attack, Brian.
Alright, it hits.
What the fuck? Okay, he does 1 damage to you as this watering can bounces off your flank. And he starts like shouting what you would assume are goblin curses. And he runs over to you, and he's gonna try and like get in the way of you and this other goblin. And he is now visible to you would guess that Godsend has line of sight, Bradley.
I think Brad will give the signal then.
Okay. Yeah.
Better not hit me.
Well, I hope he does.
I was giving the DM an idea.
No, Godsend sees the little finger gun like now, and he just lets loose an arrow, and it hits this goblin in the shoulder, and he starts letting out a larger string of curses. Which brings us to the top of the round.
I think Brad will give you got a fucking thumbs up, like, yeah.
He does a very curt nod as he starts like drawing another arrow for next. But then Mr. Dagger Goblin is going to also run up to the goat. And he actually says this in common. And he he says, "We're having heroes tonight." And then rolls a 2. So he fully fucking misses. But you hear him go, now, the acid, now. And then the kobold peeks his head around the corner, and you see a glob of green goo shoot out of his staff, and it actually lands just before you, Soapy, and it hits the goblin that had the hatchet square in the head. And the splash from the attack hits the other goblin. And both of them start, like, screaming as their, like, the top of their scalp start, like, melting.
Who threw this acid?
The kobold. The red man.
Kobold!
What a bastard.
I mean, I think he was aiming for you and just is bad at his job.
Both of these goblins look really fucking bad right now. Godson sends another arrow, but it's a little bit high because these goblins are like the same height as you, Soapy, and he's like, I don't want to mess up and hit him.
Oh, it's not Brad's turn yet. Never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
It's Soapy's turn.
This one with the hatchet's right adjacent to me?
Yeah, and he looks really bad.
I'm gonna ram him. That wasn't even a number. Ah,
What?
damn it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does an 8 hit?
No, not
Fucking hell.
not quite.
And then... If I were to move away from him, would he get an attack of opportunity since he's being acided right now?
Both of them would.
All right, I'll stay here.
I mean, you can still do it. Just...
I don't want to take a double hit as a goat.
Okay. Brad, it's your turn. Soapy has 2 goats on him, and they both look real bad.
You mean he has 2 goblins on him and Soapy is a goat?
That is exactly what I said, and you can't prove otherwise.
We're streaming, so I 100% can't.
Nobody's gonna make it through me putting stuff on my body long enough to see it and hear Eric say that.
That's fair. He's gonna look at you, God, and he's gonna say, "We're gonna need the kobold alive," and he's gonna kind of point like a flanking maneuver around, and then he's going to. How far are these gobos from me?
Well, Soapy was only like 10 to 15 feet from you, and they're like on either side of him. Like one's in front of him, one's on his left side. So.
All right, I'm gonna go and stab at one of them with my rapier.
Before you roll your attack, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
All right, I'm pretty decent at those. Hey, nat 20, so that's a 26.
All right, yeah, you're able to get up to either one of these goblins easily.
All right. He's gonna... This is all fake. And we're drunk in the motherfucking somewhere weird. Does a 14 hit it?
Sure does. You'd be rolling with advantage too, since you were flanking.
I'll roll another one just in case I crit. Nope. That's 10 damage.
Yeah, you just like dash towards this goblin and full on like you kind of do a little lunge at the end and just fully impale him as he didn't even like see you coming.
I only have parry and riposte for my battle master maneuvers.
Oh, I just mean like
I'm fucking with you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
fucking leave him. So yeah, one of these goblins is fully dead.
If you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me.
His head.
Ooh, please don't go.
This is why Tim's not allowed to play bards.
Just out of curiosity, which kobold did you attack first? Did you attack Tim?
The one that was
Dagger or
probably
hatchet?
closest.
That'd
The
be
one
dagger.
that was probably closest. Just so yeah, that I'm not gonna.
Okay. Yeah.
Metagame
Well, the dagger
too
ran
hard.
up first, so he just went.
You're a dagger, and you ran first.
Got
him.
Okay, so the one with the hatchet, he kind of turns his head back towards where the kobold is, and he starts like screaming and like pointing at the goat, and then he tries to attack him, and I don't suppose a 12 hits your AC.
The goats?
Correct.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
no!
shit.
There goes Goaty Boy.
Senior Goto.
Unless I'm wearing my leather armor, I think that was up to DM discretion.
No, it's not. It's the armor of the creature.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I read. Well, his natural armor
You
is 11.
motherfucker, you don't got nothing to say. Take your goblin hits, you bitch.
You take 5 damage as he gets a solid hatchet like straight into your back.
Ow. How much damage?
5.
5! As you get a spinal realignment, boy.
And then the goblin lets out another like string of like words and then kind of ends it with "I'll eat your bones" in common. And then the kobold again kind of like peeks around the pumpkin where he's at, and you see a red glow from his staff. Oh yeah. And he shoots out a firebolt from his staff, and it hits the goblin square in the fucking head, and his head just explodes, thus covering Soapy in goblin gore and goo, as I know he likes to be.
I'm gonna make a new discovery.
Brad's gonna look at Soapy and go, MC Goblin Goo?
A little on. No, actually, that's pretty good. Technically, it says I can choose to wear it and it functions as normal, but then it says the DM decides whether it's practical for the new form to wear the piece of equipment, and I'm a large goat, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think human leather armor is going to fit on a goat, large or otherwise.
Yeah.
You could maybe have like a little helmet, but
Can I just for the appearance of it, even if it's
just
not
for
functional?
flavor, yes. You like your helmet now has like little horn holes in it. But yes,
Like
you're
one
wearing
of those
like a
old-timey football helmets.
exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. um, yeah. So yeah, you guys see the kobold, and he's still like cowering behind this 5-foot pumpkin, and he's like shaking. We're gonna break initiative just for now.
Was you God making his way around to go and try and flank him?
Um, yes, but he was moving quite slowly as he was going like from pumpkin to pumpkin.
I think we're going to go very slowly and kind of approach from our side very obviously to try and give you God a chance to come up from behind.
Um,
Hold
Brian,
on.
you want evens or odds?
I'm just need to get my bearings here. So both goblins are down, right? There's just a kobold
Yo,
left.
Goblins are dead.
Where's the
kobold? Killed it.
Where's the kobold?
He's probably about 25 feet from you, like cowering behind a pumpkin. Like,
Okay.
the goblins ran towards you, the kobold ran in the opposite.
You want me to butt this guy out of there?
Can you talk as a goat? I don't
Yeah,
think you
you
can.
definitely cannot talk as a goat.
That's what I said in goat sign language. I give a nod with
In
my
goat sign language. All right.
head. I'm just gonna
Goat
do it.
sign
I just
language.
want to do it.
Bradley, you hear this really squeaky voice in your head. And it's just going, please, no, please, I helped, please. And you see the...
What are you doing to the pumpkins, man?
It was them. They made me.
Bullshit. You're more powerful than them.
I only have a bit of magic. They're stronger, and there's more of them.
Where are the rest? What was the blood
What?
that they poured on the that they watered with the? It's a. I don't know. I'm confused.
It was just blood. I don't know where the rest are. Probably coming from that loud boom.
Can I just say that I really hate having your voice inside my head?
I'm sorry. It's the only way I can talk to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Like, I understand that this is, the situation that we're in. It doesn't mean I have to like the situation,
Do I have any idea that they're conversing mentally?
No, not at all.
I'm gonna charge.
Stop him.
Brad will look around and be like, "Hey, douche, stop. It's fine."
As you guys are walking over to him, right as Soapy tries to charge, Soapy, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Six. Wait, hold on. I get a thing. Sure-footed. I get advantage on dex. Okay. 6 or 11. I got an 11.
Neither one of those saves. As you start running towards him, and Brad starts hearing stop him, these vines quickly almost spring to life and wrap around your legs. And they're like fully wrapped around you. Like all the way up to your haunches, I guess.
Brad will laugh.
It's the curse.
I don't know if I got advantage anyways. It says throws that make against effects that would knock me prone.
No, but it's fine.
When these
And
wrap
you
around
promised
me.
you had nothing to do with this, motherfucker?
It's what they made
Because
me
when you
do.
said stop him, well, what the fuck do you mean they made you do this?
It's... Do you know what a blight is?
I fucking no! Look at me!
Why not?
My name is MC Goblin Goo! Like, I decided to name myself that! You should feel bad!
I didn't want to.
Yes, you did!
No! They made me.
How? That doesn't seem probable at all.
It's not just them. There's stronger ones.
Like what? Like who? What do they got?
Big and hairy and big. I'm all,
Bugbears?
maybe they were big and tall and armor and they carried big swords. Swords as big as me.
I wish you were better with nomenclature here, pal. What's your name? Bradley Chuffton the Fourth. Nice to meet you.
I'm Liz.
Wow, I fucking hate you so goddamn much.
He kind of walks over. He walks over to where, like, on the outskirts of where Soapy is, and he kind of points his staff at the center of this big grove where you see this mound of, like, vines. And, casts a firebolt at it. And as these vines, like, go up in flames, you hear, like, this just barely audible screeching.
So what do we have to do to stop this, Liz?
Well, if I don't have to cast anything more, then
I'm gonna call you Liz and Ardo from now on because I hate your fucking name.
okay. It won't spread any further, but we do have to burn these blights.
All right, well, you seem like you're pretty good at burning the shit, so you should do that. Where should we go in the meantime?
I think there was more of them to the northeast.
Where specifically? Are they in a cave or like what are we talking about here?
He doesn't actually say northeast. He kind of just points. It's just is in the northeast. He goes, "There's more of them over there," and he points kind of into like the dense thicket.
They're just chilling in a thicket. Is there a clearing in there? Like, come on, bro, give me some more information.
There was 5 of us all together, and the 2 of them are dead. And he points at the 2 goblins, and then there's me, and then there was 2 more of the goblin.
How many of the big hairy guys?
None of them here.
Liz and Ardo, I need you to level with me. I need you to lizzle with me, okay?
Okay.
Where are the big hairy guys? How often do they come?
They were back in the mountains. Only one of them would come every now and then.
All right, so why do they want the blood ritual thing?
I don't know. I'm not that important to know things.
Do you think that the guy that turned into a goat is a douchebag?
He looks like a goat, and
But
that's
but does
weird.
he feel like, does he have an aura of a douche? Because like this is just an important thing that we're all wondering.
He puts his hand on like the haunches of Soapy and goes, no, I don't like it.
Close enough. Close enough. All right, Lizanardo. You go burn all these vines and shit, and we're gonna head towards that northeasterly vector, and we'll rendezvous back here sometime around 09 or 9er.
Um, I don't know what that means, but it'll take time to
Hey,
burn
hey,
all this.
hey, Lizanardo. Shh. You got old Brad Chuffton here, and you know what Brad does?
Say his name a lot.
Brad motherfucking helps people. All right, that's all that we
Oh,
do in the Chuffton clan. Okay.
she starts hugging on your leg. Goes, oh,
Okay,
will you hug
Lizanardo.
me? Will you help me?
No, I'm. Well, like we're kind of in the process. You know, it's more of like a we
Thank you.
help each
Thank
other
you.
kind of a situation. Um, I do think that maybe we could have some sort of a sidekick spinoff, but your name is definitely going to have to be Lizanardo. Like, we're not going to be able to go with the original name because that's some bullshit.
Oh, okay. I guess. I
Say you
don't have to
love
work
being
for those
Lizanardo.
mean. I
Say
don't
you
have to
love
work.
it.
I love Leonardo.
Perfect. All right, douche. We got a new vector. Let's saddle up, you god. Why don't you see if you can ride douche into battle?
Godsend is like coming around the pumpkin, bow drawn, and he's like, "What's going on right now? You want me to ride the goat?"
Basically, what I'm trying to tell you right now is that you're in for the ride of a century.
Okay, and he
Not
like
of the century, just of a century, because it's going to take us a long fucking time to get there, I bet.
he um he like starts to like saddle up on Soapy and goes, "Oh God, no! Oh, that's weird. Oh, what is that? Ah,
I told you. Doesn't he have just an aura about him? It's so weird.
an aura is an understatement. Good Lord, it's like, oh, it's like lye and wine. What? Oh God, I'll go on
Yeah,
foot."
dude. It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up. Just
Are
give
you
me the beat and then I'll jump and jump.
are you gonna try and track the other goblins?
Um, I'm actually thinking that we should just wait until we get to the thicket before we're going to investigate and like do any sort of trying to look for a sign.
Yeah, it's not super far to where it starts getting like dense and thick.
All right.
Um, one thing you notice, unlike these vines, it's almost like it's hard to explain. It's like there was something growing here and then it left. There's still some like thick kind of underbrush almost, but there's like clear patches of just like barren land almost.
I want to smell around the area.
Okay. Roll perception.
Yeah. I think what I'll specifically be looking for is any sign of what the goblins smelled like before.
Oh, okay.
14.
Yeah, you're able to pick up kind of a scent. It's faint, but it is leading off in that northeastern direction that Lizanardo was pointing you.
Okay.
And you notice that as it goes that way, it gets more and more like what is grown there is really thick, but then there's bigger patches of like missing farmland where it's just barren dirt.
I think I'm going to turn back into my normal self, and then I'm going to say, best I can tell, they've gone out that way.
All right, nature boy. Woo. And he'll lead on.
Okay. You travel for not too long into this thicket. And again, like this seems like it was corn stalks, but it's kind of like pushing between bamboo stalks. Where it's very firm, it's very stiff and hard.
Well, I brought my lucky machete. Can I pull that out? And
certainly, yeah, if you just want to hack and slash your way through this.
yeah.
Okay.
If I could find out what this blood is, I may be able to sell it as an aphrodisiac.
I fucking hate everything about you, douche.
What?
You got... If douche goes down, remind me that the healing word spells are reserved for you and I, and that is it.
Yes, we're searching for what exactly?
We're looking for the rest of the gobos, and hopefully we're gonna figure out where their big leaders are at, because I mean, we got to leave at least one alive so that we can figure out where the armored guys are and, you know, move up the chain and figure out, you know, this glorified fetch quest.
I don't understand that last part, but goblins this way? Yes, got it. Okay. I didn't realize there was more than one group. Interesting.
You got... Is your collar too tight? Like, are you getting blood flow to your brain?
Only one of my brain. If you get my trick.
Dude, I thought we had a thing where we could mutually hate douche, and now it seems
we do.
like you and douche have a thing where you're mutually hated by me.
We can do both at once, I think.
I mean, I guess, but you really just ruined the bond there. Like, we had something going, and now it is just in the fucking trash, just gone, you know?
Oh, fuck. This whole game is so bad.
I blame you for 95% of that.
No, that's completely fair. So we're gonna make our way through these corns.
Yeah, you're pushing through these like petrified corn stalks, And are you guys trying to be stealthy at all?
No, I mean I'm cutting shit down with my lucky machete.
I don't feel
Okay.
threatened enough to be stealthy.
Okay. In that case, roll me perception.
Finally get out of that stupid goat perceptions. That's not a number. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
6.
Okay. Soapy, you hear a noise both on your left and on your right. It sounds like small creatures pushing through these petrified corn stalks, similar to how you were before Brad pulled out his machete and just started clearing his way.
Heads
and
up.
then the sound on your left disappears.
Heads up, lads. I think we have company.
Maybe they'll be better company than you guys.
Oh, okay. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, well, it's fine. Neither do I, you god.
I want.
Perhaps if you were a goat, your hearing would be better.
I want to cast. I don't know how to spell this. Oh, there it is. 1 minute. No, I don't want to cast it yet. It's not long enough. I'm going to wait. I swear to you, I heard something. It was to both sides of us.
All right, douche. We both know you're a little on the fucking crazy side, so let's just keep going.
Yes, I also don't believe the weird goat man. The weird drunk goat man.
I haven't had a drop to drink in the last week or so.
That's bullshit. You had wine this morning, douche goatman.
I didn't,
Esquire, attorney at law.
I didn't drink any of it.
I fucking hate you. I thought we retconned that you didn't rub it all over your body, you fucking psycho.
Oh, I thought we were retconning that was a thing that I continued to do in the future.
I fucking hate you so much. Can
We
just be done
retconned
with
something in the
for the night?
All right,
Can we please call this session and then start over next week with new fucking characters and a new quest because I'm so over this. Like I can't anymore.
I didn't mean to. I had my character all rolled up and thought I was done, and then I forgot I hadn't developed his voice or personality
if you
at
tell
all.
me one more fucking time that you didn't mean to rub wine and all over your body and to shove fucking pumpkin guts down the back of your pants, I swear to God, Brian, like I don't even know how to handle you anymore. If it's what my character would do. That is the most psychopathic, weird ass shit that I've ever heard in my entire life. Like how many heads are in your fucking freezer right now, Brian?
Oh, fuck.
On a scale of 1 to the FBI is involved, how often do you make outfits out of human flesh, you motherfucking psycho? Like,
All right. Yeah, this is easily my worst character I've ever made, so maybe I'll just...
Soapy, what's your HP?
14. I took some damage as a goat. I guess I gotta remember. I don't know.
Does that carry over to you?
no.
I've read it like 3 times and I still don't understand how it works.
You get two pools of hit points as a druid, especially Circle of the Moon.
I think what it's saying is if you take excess damage, that carries over if you get your goat killed.
Yes, correct.
Lucky motherfucker. Because right as you get convinced that there's nothing after you by these two who are like, you're fucking stupid, you get stabbed by a goblin for 12 damage.
Fuck.
I gave
Do
him
I see
advantage
this
for...
happen?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Can I stab him with my rapier?
Soapy or the goblin?
Oh, I thought he meant me.
Fuck, that's a really hard choice.
I was like, you
I'm gonna go
monster.
with the goblin.
Oh, okay.
Yes. You can have advantage on the attack as well.
Alright, like a boss. Roll T220, please. I fucking fucked that up. I got a nat 20 plus 6. So that's a 26. Yeah. I'll go ahead and give the damage an old rizzle. That's gonna be 12.
Well, yeah, this goblin just coughs blood and like slides off the end of your rapier.
And then he'll go back to like ranting at Douche, like, "You fucking psychopathic piece of shit, motherfucker! I swear to God, if you fucking rub."
And immediately,
he's just like bleeding all over the place.
As you start saying that, another goblin comes from the other side and stabs Godsend for another 10 damage.
Am I close enough to stab out at this one?
I'm gonna say that you used your action there.
That's fair. My reaction, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And Godsend kind of like doubles over and he starts like coughing and like let's just... Well, both of those goblins rolled 15s, which is...
Well, one of them's dead.
Yes. Godsend will have his attack first. So he'll try to lash back at that, and he rolled a 3 like a fucking idiot.
You fucking idiot.
The other goblin is going to try and attack Godsend again, and crit. For 8 damage, and Godsend just falls. And the goblin starts flipping off the two of you.
Can I go now?
Technically, it's Soapy's turn, but since he got stabbed, I'll give it to you first.
Alright, so, I am going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Godsend. So that will be a D4 plus my charisma, which is Dose. So holy shit, he gets healed for 6.
He coughs up one final clot of blood and is...
And then I will roll my attack. 19?
Oh, yeah.
And for 9 damage.
Yeah. So within the span of like 4 seconds, your 2 party members get stabbed. You stab one goblin straight through the heart, turn to the other, stab him through the neck, and like as you get to the hilt of your blade, he... Holy shit. He kind of is just able to lift his dagger up and kind of like drop it onto your arm. You take 2 damage as it cuts into you, but
I'm gonna actually use my parry superiority die and take a d6 plus 4 less damage. So that's 7, so I take nothing.
There's no minimum on that.
What?
It doesn't say like minimum 1 or anything.
No.
Okay. So yeah, you like stab him through his throat, and you see him just kind of start to like he like weakly lifts his hand up to try and stab you, and like you pull your sword out and just instantly disarm him, and his arm just falls weakly on your wrist, and he slumps over to the ground.
All right, fellas, get up, get up.
Thank you, friend.
I wouldn't go that far. Remember, we just discovered that we're merely acquaintances not that long ago.
You still saved me.
Well,
That
yes,
is good enough to be friends with me.
All right, you god, but you need to get a better rap flow. And he'll pat him on the back.
I'm gonna heal myself. My level, so 2.
Hold on.
Kill him.
We should probably rest here
Cool.
among the corpses.
Don't you think
and he'll clear an area like right next to the corpses and say, "We'll rest here."
In that case,
Wouldn't it be better to go back to the house?
Don't be daft. We're only going to rest for 30 minutes or so.
I guess, yes. I can do that.
And that way you can use your hit die to heal yourself instead of whatever it was that you were planning on doing, Brian.
2d8.
Hey, instead, let's just attack him.
Well, you don't have to use both d8s. I would just use one to start out. Oh wait, no, you're really hurt. Never mind.
Almost dead. Oh well, it's 7.
Actually.
You get to add your con mod to both die rolls.
Ooh, 0 and 0.
Godfrey uses 1 hit dice, and it looks much better.
Shit.
I will play the Song of Rest then and give a d8 or a d6. I'm sorry to both of them.
Oh, then he's gonna be full.
Rest, my childs, and get your points. Push them down the back of your pants, because that's where your points belong. So please just rest, my little chinchillas.
I was trying to heal myself.
This is me. I'm sorry, Brian. Go ahead and say whatever dumb shit you were going to say.
I accidentally did damage instead of healing and killed myself.
I have my superiority die back, which is nice now.
How long do I get this inspiration you gave me?
Oh, it's only for a minute, so that shit ran out a long time ago.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, I figured you would have used it in combat, and then you just didn't.
I wrote it down, though.
Good call.
That's a start.
Hunter's Mark!
Use Hunter's Mark, you fucking ranger.
Do you want to call it here for the night, Eric? It's starting to get kind of late.
Yeah. I'll say you guys make it back to Old Man Jenkins, where you see him like hiding behind the pumpkin, and you see Liz.
Still?
Yes, still. You see Liz starting to like go to these mounds of vines and like blast them with fire. And yeah, that's where we'll call it.
When next we
Nice.
return, Soapy Lungwater may have an entirely new voice and personality.
God,
Thank
let's
God.
hope so.